32 space attendance, which is also in the chat, we're going to go ahead and continue into a candidate forum. Now, in the interest of providing the public and press some further information from our candidates, we're going to be using this forum to make sure that we are allowing the candidates who submitted their letters of intent to have a dialogue with you all and hear answers on some important questions facing the district. The format rules are as follows. Candidates will have 2 minutes for an opening statement. Candidate order will be determined by the alphabetical order using their last name and will rotate throughout the forum. Each candidate will be asked the same question and will have 1 minute to respond to each question. CDP will time candidates and mute them upon time with a visual signal for a 10-second warning. I'm going to test this before we get started so that everybody knows what it looks like. Audience questions must be submitted in advance and will be chosen by the chair, and each candidate will have had 1 minute for a closing statement. No cross-examination by the candidates will be allowed, and this forum will be broadcast live for the public on YouTube alongside the rest of the HD32 Vacancy Committee. Press may also attend on Zoom, and so be aware that everything is being broadcast to the public and to members of the media. So for the opening statements, we are going to go in the order of the last name. And so Lucy Molina will receive 2 minutes for opening statement. Let me go ahead and test the timer function to make sure everybody sees it. And then Lucy, I'll call on you to start once we make sure that you can see it and that we're all ready. So give me 1 moment to open this up.
Got it. Hey, ya vamos.
Okay, Lucy, I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. You have 2 minutes to start.
Okay. De nuevo, muchas gracias. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you for your public service. And thank you, Ms. Daphna, also for your public service. My name is Lucy Molina. As you know, I am persistent. I'm not one to give up. I'm a single mother, frontline community organizer that grew up right here in Adams County. I've been serving in my party since I was 18, a true local from this community, and a field organizer for the Obama campaign in 2018, and organized my community for that historic win, as well as serving in local campaigns like Steve Odoricio's, Steve Douglas, Ms. Daphna's, and the Honorable Joe Salazar that is joining us today, and our late Val Vigil in Thornton. It is important for you to know this. My family has been running longtime businesses here in Adams County and currently live in a small forgotten neighborhood in unincorporated Adams County. I am a Maputon Public School alumni. I'm also proud to serve on the first Latino Indigenous School Board here in Adams County. That's Adams 14. I also sit on the Environmental Justice Roundtable for the governor. Protecting public education, environmental justice has been my strongs here for decades of poisoning our communities. I have brought millions of dollars to our communities for our first ever air monitoring program. I don't steal again I always say I don't take from my community, I bring it. Public funds must remain in public hands. My work is around human rights, again, environmental justice, just transition, transportation, advocating for renewable energy and jobs that my community is not left behind. Protecting public education because we are being privatized all throughout our district. As a party, we're losing voters, and I've said this all the time, due to the lack of trust in government and the actions that are not aligned with our people. I have gained the trust of my community, and I can connect with these young people, cultivating the next generation of voters. We must start putting people over profits. As I always say, the wealth of this community is in its people, it's in you. And I am ready to represent our community in House District 32. Vote for me, Lucy Molina. Gracias.
Thank you, Lucy. Manny, hopefully you saw the timer there as well. You will also have 2 minutes for your opening statement. Please unmute yourself and begin.
Thanks so much, Shad and Jennifer Booth, and thank you to each and every one of the committee members for volunteering your valuable time to help ensure that we keep Adams County well represented. Also, I'd like to say thank you to Lucy Molina. While we may be running for the same seat, I by no means consider Lucy an adversary. Quite the opposite. I consider Lucy an ally. Her environmental activism has helped bring attention to the pollution issues in Commerce City. And now it is time to do something about it. I also have a background in environmental advocacy. Most recently, I was an attorney at Earth Justice, making real change by holding corporate polluters accountable. Now I'm running for office to ensure we bring real change to the Capitol. There are so many other important issues. The cost of living is out of control, and as an economist, I know there are ways our leaders can help make things more affordable. Our education system often fails kids, and we know that increased funding is a top need across our school districts. If this committee chooses me to represent you in the next session, I will take my approach of collaborative problem solving with me to enact real change that improves the daily lives of people in Adams County and across the state. That's why I've been endorsed by former Senator Moreno, current State Senator Michael Sinjanay, House Majority Leader Monica Duran, and dozens of other state and local officials. We know what the problems are. Now it is time to fix them. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your participation and your volunteering, because we're going to do this together. So I look forward to your questions. Thank you so much. I'll see the rest of my time.
Thank you so much, Manny. Again, for the following questions, each candidate will have 1 minute to answer them, and we're going to alternate the order. So Manny Rutinel will go first since Lucy went first last time. I'll repeat the question for both candidates. But Manny, what is the biggest challenge facing HD32's constituents, and how will you address them? You'll have 1 minute. Please wait for the timer to begin. You may go.
Yeah, thanks so much, Shad. I think there are a lot of issues that our district faces, but I think one of the biggest ones that come to mind for me are the environmental injustices. Right now, corporations are not being held accountable, and they're paying pennies on the dollar for the harm that they're causing our communities. And there's a reason why they're able to get away with it, and that's because HD32 is one of the most diverse districts in the state. And as a result, they haven't had a strong political power. And that's what I want to bring. I want to bring a really strong voice to this district and at the Capitol. Another issue is affordability. I've talked to the Vacancy committee members tons of times, tons of doors as well, tons of phone calls, and affordability is a top priority for folks across the district. And I think I've got what it takes to be able to bring those issues to the table at the Capitol.
Thank you, Manny. Lucy, again, the question is, what is the biggest challenge facing HD32's constituents, and how will you address them? You will have 1 minute to respond, starting now.
Thank you so much. So I have been fighting all those environmental injustices, living next to the oil refinery here, Suncor, as I mentioned, bringing millions of dollars to bring air monitoring. Other issues is really lack of positive relationships with community, funding, and bureaucracies. We also need team building and relationships. Definitely the housing. We need development without displacement. Food justice, economic justice. People cannot afford to live. We need affordable living, not just affordable housing, permanent housing. We need access to not only the mental health issues, but the things that cause the mental health, which is lack of food, lack of being able to pay our rents, lack of jobs. So those are some of the things. Also, gun control. I have a family member. I worked at a place where my boss got shot at broad daylight. We have fentanyl, drug issues in our communities. We have a lot of children, youth that are being impacted by drug issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lucy. The second question is again for Lucy, because we're going in alternating order. And again, we'll repeat these questions for each candidate. What is the issue that you personally are passionate about, and how do you plan to use your position as a state representative to make progress on it for your constituents? You may start.
Yes, thank you. Definitely, environmental justice has been personal, right? And the privatization of education. There were some bills that were introduced the last legislation that were very concerning to us as a local representative as well, representing public education, that would attack local control, protecting definitely community like ours, disproportionately impacted communities, shifting this funding where it belongs to the community, not leaving us behind. So those are some of the personal issues that I have been fighting already, and I have been doing it. And I continue to do this. As your representative, I will continue to represent you, not only in these issues, but in the issues that are important to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lucy. And Manny, I'll repeat the question for you. Just reset the timer here. Okay, what is the issue that you personally are passionate about, and how do you plan to use your position as a state representative to make progress on it for your constituents? You may go.
Thanks, Shad. Yeah, I think my record on environmental issues speaks for itself. But I think the thing that folks may not know about me is how much I'm infuriated by poverty. It's a tragedy that in one of the wealthiest states, one of the wealthiest nations in the world, so many people are living paycheck to paycheck. I had to experience this myself as the son of a single mother who lived paycheck to paycheck, who made her way across different parts of the country to be able to find a better job. And unfortunately, because of our economic circumstances, we lost our home after the Great Recession. And that sort of economic anxiety is something that it makes me mad. And I want to be able to be at the Capitol as a voice that maybe isn't as represented in those halls, folks that have experienced poverty firsthand. And so that's who I want to represent. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Manny. This first question will also be to Manny first, and then we will go to Lucy. Hope you guys are ready for the first non-policy related question you've maybe gotten during this candidacy. What is your work style, and how do you plan to work alongside your colleagues to get real results for your district? Manny, you'll have 1 minute. You may go.
Thanks, Shad. Yeah, I think my work style in the context of what you're asking is collaboration. I love working with people. I love listening to people. I think my mom always told me you have one mouth and two ears, and that's because you're supposed to listen twice as much. And that's what I want to do. In terms of my own personal work style, I am a productivity guru. Is maybe too strong of a term, but I really like to make sure that my workflows are appropriate, that folks are kept up to date about things. So I have tons of tasks and reminders on my calendar, and I like to be as organized as possible. So that's me on the individual level. But in terms of how I work with people, it's about listening first and making sure that I understand the issues before I make any sort of proposals. And that's what I think we need at the Capitol, is to be able to listen as much as possible to come up with the best solutions as possible.
Excellent. Thank you, Manny. Again, Lucy, the question is, what is your work style and how do you plan to work alongside your colleagues to get results for your district? You have 1 minute.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm a social butterfly. Everybody knows that. I am a people person. I talk to the people. Not only am I an impacted resident dealing with a lot of these issues that we're trying to face right now, it's talking to people as well, right? Listening to the community, not only to the people, but our business owners, our business community, the people that are bringing the jobs to us, right? So it's not only listening to the people, also our teachers. We need to include our teachers, all the community, the people that are doing the work on a daily basis, right? So my style really is about love. I bring everything with the mother's heart, because the issues that have been impacted me is because I am that single mother. I'm also raising 2 children here that have graduated in Adams County, a scholar, and I'm very proud of that, in Adams 14th district. And we have dealt with so many issues at a state level, and the experience that I've had to face and the barriers that I had to fight just to be here with you tonight as a woman, and as a woman of color, and also as a local person here in Adams County. It's challenging. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lucy. I really appreciate the both of you throwing your hat into the ring. It is not easy to be a candidate for anything. So thank you both for your candidacies. That concludes the forum alongside the questions we received from the public. Again, we very much appreciate you running for this important seat. And so I will say in the chat, you'll see that 17 folks have voted present to establish the quorum. We will cede the floor back to Chair Booth to move through the rest of the meeting, but please check your email, check your spam. If you have not voted yet to be able to cast your vote for quorum, that is the first critical step for you being able to vote for one of these excellent candidates. So I hope you'll check your email, check your spam, and if you need any help at all, please go ahead and type help into the chat and we'll make sure to get you some assistance. Thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this important event, and I now cede the floor back to Chair Jennifer Booth.
I thank you, Shad and Manny and Lucy. I'm also glad to see the spirit here today. We are now ready to establish quorum. Because our vacancy committee has 34 members and rules requires 50% or 17 members to be present, we have, I believe, 19 people participating, and that is, we have quorum. And the next order of business is the election of the HD32 representatives. Candidates will be given 3 minutes to speak before the vote. Nominators should keep their nominations to 1 minute and seconders 30 seconds. Manny Rutino has sent in a letter of intent to run for the position. At this time, the chair recognizes leader Dominic Moreno for the purpose of nominating Manny Rutino, and Senator Daphne Michelson-Janae for the purposes of seconding Manny Rutino for filling the House 32 vacancy.
Madam Chair, I believe that Senator Michelson-Janae will be nominating and I'll be seconding. So I will defer to Senator Michael Sinjane.
Thank you so much, Senator Moreno. It's nice to see you. Thank you, everybody, for being here on this evening to participate in a little bit of democracy from home. I am so honored to serve as your new senator in Senate District 21, and it was an honor of my lifetime to serve as your House representative in House District 32. I am so excited to nominate Manny Rutinel for following in my footsteps in this incredibly important seat for many reasons. Number one, Manny is someone who listens, and he talked about that right when he spoke about one mouth, two ears. He uses his two ears, and I've seen him do it with the community in hearing what what people have to say and what they need. He also shows up. He has been at all of the meetings that we have had and all of the events that we have hosted, and he has delved into the community head first in working and making sure that he is representing. I believe that his experience in life and work will be exceptionally valuable for our seat, especially with his work with Earth Justice. So I hope you will join me in voting for Manny Rutinel. It is my honor to nominate him.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is my honor to second the nomination of Manny Rutinel for our next state representative. It was my honor to serve you all in both the State House and the State Senate. This community has a legacy, a history of electing bright, young Latinos. Myself, Jesse Ulibarri, and I would absolutely put Manny Rutinel in that camp as well. I will never forget when I first met Manny and he asked, what does your endorsement process look like? And I told him, I don't have one. I'm just trying to get a sense if you're a good person who's going to do right by our community. And I can say wholeheartedly that I believe Manny will do right by our community. I believe he is a good person. I believe he will represent this community well. And I hope you will join me in supporting him as our next state representative.
Thank you, Dominic. Manny Rutinel has been properly nominated. And Lucy Molina has sent in a letter of intent also to run for the position of representative for House District 32. At this time, I recognize Joe Salazar for the purpose of nominating Lucy Molina and Steve Douglas for the purpose of seconding Lucy Molina for filling the House District 32 vacancy.
Thank you very much, everyone. Joe Salazar, former state representative out of House District 31, but it is my pleasure to nominate Lucy Molina for the vacancy for House District 32. This is the moment in our state when we need authentic leaders serving the community in our state legislature. And that person is Lucy Molina. For over a decade, I have seen Lucy show up at the state legislature, at county, city, and school board meetings, fighting for our environment, social justice issues, and for our public schools. She has earned her bones in House District 32, both as a resident and as an elected official on the Adams 14 school board. I have seen her battle it out with the State Board of Education and battle it out against the reorganization that was attempted to eliminate the House or the Adams County School District. It was because of her leadership and the leadership of the school board, not the leadership of the legislature and not the leadership of the State Board of Education, their leadership that saved the school district from being eliminated. And that's what Lucy does. Lucy shows up all the time. And maybe she doesn't take the most popular position or the most centrist position that other people would take. She battles for community authentically. Because she always shows up for community, I am proud to nominate Lucy Molina to serve as the representative of House District 32. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Steve? Douglas?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm down here at the at City Hall and to come out so I can nominate my friend Lucy.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Steve Douglas. I concur with Joe's points and like to emphasize that I have known Lucy Molino for more than 10 years as well, and during which she has demonstrated a deep understanding of our community. I mean, Lucy went to bat against Suncor, have received almost $2 million to Cultivando so they could do monitoring. Lucy does not sit on the fence. She is not a fence splinter. She stands strong for our community. Sorry, at the time run. Therefore, I second the nomination for Lucy Molina for House District 32 vacancy.
Thank you, Steve. I now recognize Lucy Molina for her comments.
Okay, and I'm very humbled. Thank you, Joe and Steve. Thank you, Manny, también, mijo, por, my sobrino, my nephew, for stepping it up, mijo. I'm very proud of you, and I'm looking forward also to work with you in any way. Ms. Daphna, thank you for your public service as well. Dominic Moreno, thank you also for encouraging me to step it up as well. And all of my elected officials that I have served for in your campaigns and helped get you elected as well. I wanted to tell my people, I want to tell my sons and my daughters, your sons and daughters, that you are enough. Okay, you are enough. In Thornton and Brighton, all the local kids, all the people that are growing up here, the homegrown people, you are enough to represent me, to represent us. Please step it up. We need you to step it up. We need you. I want to say that how beautiful you guys are, and the future belongs to you. And that's why I'm here, to represent our future. We are facing a climate crisis. Not only that, but in our district, not environmental justice. We are facing homelessness. We're facing so many issues that impact our community. I do want to tell you again that I love you. I thank you for all of you guys here for your public service and for joining us today. I know that perhaps a lot of things have been orchestrated, and I've been following and I've been serving this party for many years. But I'm still here to serve you. I'm here to serve you. I've been serving you forever. It's not just about showing up for a photo op. It's about doing the work. Okay. And I've been doing the work for you. I have been doing the work, and I will continue to do the work for you. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and you have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much, Lucy. We will now open the floor to other nominations if there are any.
Manny needs a chance to say his.
I apologize. Did I miss that? I think I did.
That's okay. I can.
Okay, Manny, recognizing you. I'm so sorry.
And this is for 3 minutes, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, hello again, everyone. And it's truly an honor to be here today with friends and familiar faces. And I want to give a thank you to Senator Daphna Michelson-Janae and former Senator Dominic Moreno. Those words were really touching, and I really appreciate them. My name is Manny Rutanel, and I'm the son of a single mother from the Dominican Republic. Growing up, our life was punctuated by the challenges many immigrant families face. From San Bernardino to the Dominican Republic, my upbringing was a lesson in perseverance, similar to the stories I've heard from many of you. Those early struggles, from the long hours working at McDonald's to selling my blood hundreds of times just to help pay the bills, to when my family lost our home after the Great Recession. They've all deeply shaped my values and work ethic. From being a first responder in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria, to my time as an environmental attorney after graduating from law school, my path has been diverse. Yet, it was Colorado, with its natural beauty and welcoming communities, that truly felt like home. The heart and spirit of Commerce City reminds me of the places that shaped my early years, and I'm so proud to call it home. There's so much potential in our community, yet challenges persist. I'm committed to fighting for a safer environment, addressing social disparities, and ensuring every child can access an equitable and quality education. It shouldn't matter which part of Colorado you're from. opportunities should be abundant. I'm humbled to have the endorsements of notable figures, but today I'm here with you, seeking the most valuable endorsement, yours. While I may not have spent my entire life in this district, I believe my diverse experiences have equipped me with a unique perspective and skill set, including a history of working in law and policy and a fluency in Spanish, which will allow me to speak directly to nearly everyone in our communities. I've come to understand deeply the values and dreams that we as a community hold dear. Together, we've shared concerns, hopes, and visions for our future. I promise to amplify those voices in the State House. Guided by my mother's lessons, I want to bring hard work, unity, and advocacy to the state capitol. With your trust, together, we can advocate for the betterment of well-being, Carson City, Adams County, and the entirety of Colorado. My name is Manny Rutanel, and I'm here to serve. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you so much, Manny. I apologize once again. So let me try this one more time. We will now open the floor for any other nominations, if there are any. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Seeing no additional nominations, nominations are now closed. We are now ready to vote. Please log into the voting system as instructed in the email you just received from announcements@associationvoting.com. In order to vote, you will need this new ballot code, 32 candidate, with a space between 32 and candidate. You can also see the ballot code in the chat that was just posted by Joe Zemek. If you need assistance with voting, please type help in the chat and our staff will send you to the virtual credentials room where you will receive help. You have 5 minutes to start voting now.
Chair Booth, may I be recognized? This is Shadmir.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Shad.
Just acknowledging folks in the chat. Again, we will take as much time as we need to make sure this vote goes well, so please don't fret. We will go ahead and flag for Joe Zemek, and then we will come back to you with a quick update from him in just a moment. So please be patient. We'll be right back. All right, folks, confirming via Joe Zemek that the email should be coming shortly. Sometimes it's just a little delayed, so if it didn't come immediately, just refresh your inbox, check your spam where you found it last time, and hopefully the first person that sees it will note that they've also received it and everyone will be able to get it. Again, that ballot code is 32 space candidate. And again, folks, we will take as much time as we need to make sure all of your votes are counted for the vacancy committee. Thank you. Okay, I'm seeing some success stories in the chat. Again, if you need any help, please type help in the chat and we're more than happy to assist you. Like Joe Zemek just stated, if you haven't logged out, you can just go back to the window and it does refresh automatically, which is a nice benefit of this system. So if you already logged in, you should still be okay to vote and have received the new ballot. Again, it's 32 space candidate. And Belinda, we're seeing your plea for help here and Joe will get in touch with you right away. Thanks. And for the folks who are having trouble in the chat, we do have a credentials breakout room that is being staffed by Val and Joe and our credentials team. Folks are going to be moved into that room to help solve their issue and then placed back into the large meeting. And so please hang tight, join that breakout room. But Karen is making sure that folks get in there so that you can solve any sort of tech issues you're having. And again, for anyone having trouble, don't fret. We are here to help. And we want to make sure your vote's counted. So we will get everyone taken care of and make sure that your vote counts in this important vacancy. So thank you for being patient with us. Very much appreciate your participation in this. Lucy, thank you so much for typing that. Yes, once your vote is counted, this is the nice thing about the system is it does allow for the secure tabulation of votes so that you can make sure your vote counted for your preferred candidate. So you will receive a receipt as well, which is a new great feature of this. So thank you for typing that, Lucy. Everybody, thank you again for acknowledging me to be recognized for the duration of this vote. I feel like we have a couple people in the credentials room. So with your permission, I feel like maybe we can extend the vote by a couple minutes to make sure everyone has time enough to complete their vote and make sure their vote's counted. But that is, of course, up to you.
Absolutely. That'd be perfect.
Great. In the interest of just keeping track, why don't I toss another 3 minutes on the timer here and we'll reassess at 3 minutes. That way folks know they have time.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. While we're allowing some folks some extra time, association voting, once folks are able to vote, the benefits of the system allow, again, that receipt to get confirmation of your vote, which is nice, a safe, secure way to make sure that votes are counted correctly. The other nice benefit of association voting is it makes sure that only credentialed committee members for any committee, whether it's state central committee, House district committee, an inter-party election, are voting. It doesn't allow for any sort of situation where our wonderful credentials team has to go through and parse out votes from folks who are not part of a committee. Google Forms is not necessarily a secure way to cast these votes. And so in the interest of making sure these representatives, senators, and party officials are elected fairly and without question, we are able to make sure that only credentialed voting members receive the ballot, which is a nice burden to take off of the party to make sure that everyone's vote is cast, that people can feel confident in it. The other nice thing, and this might make some folks who've dealt with multiple pieces of technology from the party over the years happy, we have bought a long-term subscription to this service. And so this is the 4th or 5th time we're using it. We know it's a new system and we fully expect every committee and everyone to get used to it. But our hope is to make sure that we're protecting the security of our elections, keeping them to credentialed members, and that way everyone can have confidence that their vote counts correctly. So we appreciate everyone taking the time over the past month or two of getting used to it across the state, from Western Colorado's CD3 election, from this vacancy to SD21 to a couple other vacancies to our recent successful state central committee meeting. So we're excited about adopting this new technology and we'll have it for the long term.
Thank you, folks. Has everybody gotten a chance to cast their ballot?
We
I
are waiting for
haven't.
one person and then we can announce the results.
Okay, thank you.
I haven't been able to. Oh, goodness.
Is that Christy?
Yes, it is.
Can we help her out somehow? She stepped out of Commerce City Council.
I'm having to do this on my phone, and so I didn't get to follow along, so I don't know what the process is. As you can tell, I'm really upset.
Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
Yes.
We can absolutely help. We're going to go ahead and have Joe Zemek give you a call. Chrissy, we're just waiting on, I believe, 2 votes now, including yours. We want to make sure the tech issues are resolved. So everybody's patience is so appreciated to make sure that your peers on this committee all have their vote counted. We know we're over
It's
time,
just
but
that I have to go
back.
back to a council meeting on a very important issue.
Val
It's
is actually
very
calling you
important.
right now. If you're able to
Okay,
answer the
thank
call, we
you.
can get you voted in just
Thank
a
you.
quick moment.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for your patience tonight. Let me just do one last final check to make sure we're good. Okay. The chair announces that the results indicate that Manny Rutino was elected by a representative by a vote of 23-6. Congratulations, Manny, on becoming the new representative for HD32. Would you like to address the committee?
Yes. Thank you all so much. I deeply appreciate it. I want to thank Lucy Molina for stepping up. I know these things are tough, but we're going to be allies going forward, and we have, as we have in the past. And I'm just really grateful to each of the people here today and excited to represent you at the Capitol and continue these conversations that we've been having so that I can be the best that I can be on your behalf. So thank you all so much. And I'll give a shout out to my mom who's in the other room. Te amo, mi amor. I'll see you all hopefully very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias a todos.
So this completes our business today, and the chair would like to entertain a motion to adjourn. May I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I second.
Second.
Any conversation? All right. Thank you guys so much for your time and dedication to this process. This meeting is adjourned.